And now, our feature presentation.
I'm Scarf.
All right, go ahead.
False start.
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka, and the frames are dropping. Cool.
Oh
Good.
no, I'm Krüz, and that.
And welcome to Subwoofer Entertainment, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves we house in a dream we entertain, bring you all latest entertainment news. Sets a lot of community appreciation class talk about what's going on certain topics to see how people react to them in certain ways. How are we all doing tonight?
Not very well. If the internet's going to continue to not play nice. But
Internet. It'll do what it wants, apparently.
Seems to be working now, at least.
Yeah, well, it didn't when I transitioned. But
anyway, guys, how is everyone?
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I got the recording started during that kind of false start period. So in case it happens, in case I do have to rely on the backup recording, unfortunately, it'll just start with that kind of botched false start. But not the ideal way to start our 8th season. But at this point, I'm willing to just get it out there.
So, guys, we have new toys to play with, don't we?
Yes, we do.
It's like Gavin from Gmod. It's like, can I have a toy?
Seriously, look at these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful designs. What do you guys think? Isn't it great?
Aesthetic. These things aren't great.
It is gorgeous. All right, S.E.T has been brought to you by Streamlabs. We are a non-profit podcast, but we use this as our go-to for making more episodes and help them be bigger and better than ever before by purchasing equipment or other visual means. Please don't feel obligated. We are not asking for money to pay the rent, but if you have the heart to donate, it is greatly appreciated. So guys, it's been a hell of a week. How when we announced the show, I was really surprised to have one of my friends of mine send me these designs. And by the way, we said that we said we had a lot for in store with you. First off, I have this beautiful new mic that I'm using, and it's by the same company, Blue Yeti. I am using...
Scarfy's mic's a bit high. I can turn down the user volume because we have also changed to Discord. All right, go ahead.
Oh, yes, we have changed to Discord. And, no, sorry about that. Sorry if my mic was a little too loud. So I have this beautiful mic by the lovely Garis Kuin, who made our lovely designs. We'll show you who made the designs by the end of the show. And he actually helped me build a brand new computer. I built a new PC all by myself, so I'm really, really happy about that. I have a new PC, I have a new mic, we have pretty much everything. And so what are the current topics of today? So Krüz, are you looking Krüz, what did you do?
I don't know, did you want to do the poll thing first? But
we have about the poll because
that's ahead on the script, but it's not like time sensitive. Like
I don't know, Krüz. You're looking a little sus right there.
What? I'm looking at the agenda.
All right. Let's. If you guys know that reference, you get massive points. Anyway, so guys, we have a very, very, very important thing that we want to talk to you about. As you can see, we have beautiful, beautiful new designs, and we did not know that we could get this far. Naka, what were your reactions when you heard that we got these designs?
I mean, I didn't expect that we were this came out of left field last week, before we did the announcement. So I'm just like, well, this is an interesting, pleasant surprise, and they look great. Unfortunately, you can't enjoy them in their extensive beauty because I've had to, in hopes of playing nice with the internet, degrade the stream to 720p. But it's looking nice and
yes. Shiny. I agree. All right, so as you know, we are now donning new designs made by our lovely Garis Kuin. Our gratitude will never cease. But because of this, with new equipment, a new setup, colorful visuals that are just fantastic to look at, we are now on a brink of a brand new discovery, and we wanted to know what our audience has thought of this. We have posted a link in the chat, and we are now wondering. And it's going to be a poll. This poll will last until the end of next episode's show. which will be happening next Sunday. We are now wondering, how would our audience feel about doing a video transition for the video games and movie sections that are able to watch on the show while we're watching it? This means we're going to actually use movie trailers on our streams, have you guys watch them, and hear our reactions from it. And you don't even have to click on the link anymore. The link will be provided in the chat, however, but this applies to video game and movie trailers, including the coming attraction movie trailers as well. Not only does this make our work a whole lot easier and creates a better workflow for us, but a lot more interaction with people who are reacting with you seeing a trailer. You get to hear our thoughts on it, as well as type out your thoughts as well. This has been a big debate between all three of us here, but we really wanted to see how you guys felt about us switching over to a video format when it comes to video games and movie trailers, which is why we're going to give you guys the linkable poll from strawpoll.me, asking you guys what your opinions are. We are also going to be posting this link on the Twitter after the show as well for people to ask. I would like our hard work. I feel like our hard work has finally paid off to move Subwoofer, as always, in a big new direction that we had not counted on. But we want to know how you guys feel about it first. So, guys, I want to know. Yeah.
Me personally, it seems like we would be turned into a reaction channel, and I am not a huge fan of that. But again, that is my opinion. However, in fairness, we are not allowed to vote in the straw poll because that's how elections are supposed to work. That's as political as I'm going to get tonight, by the way. We're not, it's just, that's a rabbit hole. But, if it's what the viewers want, then, I'll go ahead with it. But me personally, I don't like the idea that we would basically just become a podcast, but it's also a reaction channel. Not a fan of that.
Right, but also you have to think of it this way. How many furries out there would react to movies and video game trailers? Because I certainly don't find any video reactions of that. So personally, I think it would work great, but I think it would be a wonderful transition. And what about you, Krüz?
I think the exception is we're not doing it solely on that basis. We're not... It's not... I think... We're not framing it as a reaction thing, even though that's literally what it is. People do reactions without trying to frame it as such. I mean, the Game Grumps have been doing, looking back on old compilations, and it's kind of like reliving old times. It is reaction, but it's not, framed in that way.
Yeah, if anything, we're reacting to the trailer, we're giving our thoughts on it, we're looking at it.
And that's a thing that was said in the intro, see how we react to them, but I mean, we're just going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We're not all talking about it when it's while it's playing.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the trailer and then talk about it later when there's a transition. But that's how I would go, because I have the means to do so. I have the means to make videos now. I mean, I could do an OBS stream one of these days if I really wanted to now. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yes, I would appreciate it if all of you would go to that straw poll right now and vote. And personally, I think it would work. Yeah, reaction equals commentary. Opinion. Oh well. I mean, yeah, that does kind of work, but
it's also not doing the thing of reaction videos seem to try to do, which is to try to not, for lack of a better word, profit off of the original idea. Like, Blank reacts to this music video for the first time, trying to siphon off fame from that trailer. We're actually discussing the content, not trying to latch or leech onto these trailers. They don't. I mean, some of them get millions of views, but, I mean, it's not for our sake.
Yeah.
We do like views, but we're not going to siphon them from other sources.
Nope. Plus,
I think that would work. Anyway. We'll just have to wait. Oh, go ahead.
Plus, we don't make money on these anyway.
Yeah. No, of course not. No, we just want to turn Subwoofer into a brand new direction. As always, we have new logos. I feel like we should test it, and that's just personally me, and we have the means to do so. So, guys, please go out there and vote. I mean, it's up to you. We want to know what people have to say. It would be very appreciated if you can do that. Anyway, Are we dropping frames?
A bit.
Oh, now it says that
Now it
the
says that
live
there's no
is
data
for,
and it's
what,
buffering.
720.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
I am going to make the executive decision to where we're still going to go ahead with the stream, but I'm just going to post the VOD and just have it up in the morning.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of dealing with my internet right now. Because it was fine all day, but as soon as I, open up OBS stream button, it's just like, no, I'm not going to work for you. So we're just going to do the best we can. We're just going to go ahead.
Yeah. Pretty much. Anyway.
Krüz, are you falling off your chair? And it's going again. It's going again.
All right.
It's going again. This is...
I don't...
I am not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this today.
Well, this is a found how you do, like...
Internet's been fine all damn day.
It's been
all damn week.
bad.
It just dropped to 0.
Peak traffic.
Well,
it dropped to 0?
It dropped to 0 and it's back to green again. This is lovely. And, I can't tell my mom, hey, stop doing your work because she has to work from home because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, even though we're allowed to say what it is.
Yeah.
The thing is that this is not a Discord issue.
Yes.
This is a legitimate, just the internet is just refusing to cooperate with me. And I should have expected this because so many people are at home. A lot of people have cut their cable in favor of streaming like YouTube TV and Hulu Live Sports. I should have expected this, but yet somehow I didn't because I am the big stupid.
Yeah, you're fine.
Welcome to the Zoom world. Yeah, exactly. It's just like Zoom.
Anyway,
again,
Zoom is fine. Microsoft Teams sucks.
Again, we're going to go ahead as scheduled. We're still going to post the links in chat. We might sound choppy on the stream, but thankfully, due to hindsight in the past, I do local recordings, and your voices have not gone robot at all, which is great. I love that. That's very nice. Thank you, Discord. Because the last time we used Discord, we were having issues, but we're not having issues with Discord today, so that's good. I like that.
Yes, that is good. Yes. All right. So why don't we go ahead and move on to
Krüz,
we have a lot to talk about. So why don't we move on to Krüz with music? Krüz, go.
Oh, you can see my thing. Okay. All right. Well,
we're transitioning, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have visuals for this first part.
Inevitably. So. Yeah.
So go ahead.
There's not it's a multitude of things. Inevitably, since we've taken a break for a while, there was stuff that was released and that we didn't cover. So let's do a little recap of that. There is some unfortunate news. As some of you might know, the famed country musician of Devil Went Down to Georgia fame, Charlie Daniels, sadly died July 6th. It called forth an outpouring of condolences, tributes from other musicians. That song, Devil Went Down to Georgia, got covers from several artists, among them Leo, aka Leapfrog Studios and YouTube, and Korn. Yes, Korn, unexpected.
God.
But it worked with Alabama-based rapper Yellow Wolf, which in a strange way actually kicks ass, and begrudgingly, the fuck Nickelback did a shredding cover? 2020 just continues to feel like a fever dream at this point. I refuse to believe that that's real. You can look them up if you're interested. Behemoth did something. They released an EP with some cool songs on it. It was titled "A Forest," a cover of The Cure, which the songs I was mad largely part due to the not that great the vocals of the guest singer. Nurgo's vocals are fine, but for some reason the guy insisted on being super raspy and not very loud. But they do have some awesome songs on it. Shadows of Air cast upon Golgotha, the mountain where Jesus was crucified, of course, because that's the kind of band they are. And Evo, about Mephistopheles from the German legend Faust, aka the classic Deal with the Devil tale. Hailstorm released Curse of the Crystal Coconut, which I know we've talked about it. Now it is, since then it's been released, it's kick-ass, and I think Chomp Chomp is probably my favorite song, especially because of the hurdy-gurdy part added to it. And it's about crocodiles and gators.
Your pirate ship can eat a giant bag of dicks.
Yeah, and we got a song to, I would say, rival Fucked With an Anchor, but this one is just, yeah, that song just speaks for itself. It's kind of Hailstorm in a nutshell. It's just, fuck you, we're having fun, it's fun, everything's fun. And it was followed by a single, Big Ship, Little Ship, which, I don't know, may have just not made it on the album initially, but they released that shortly after the album itself. BPMD, that is this American heavy metal supergroup of Bobby Blitz, Mark Menke, Mark Portnoy, and Phil Dummel. Their American-made album of covers was released. What'd you do? You poor bastard. Yeah, so the album covers songs by artists, 70s rock artists like Aerosmith, Blue Oyster Cult, Van Halen, and ZZ Top, and Leonard Skinner, among others, and finished with what I think is... Actually, I think my favorite song is probably Tattoo Vampire, because Blue Oyster Cult, which we'll get to later. There is news about that. But yeah, they did cover of We're an American Band, which instead of Freddie King, they reference Kerry King, the guitarist of Slayer, which fun. And there's a new Cedar album, which is a band that I've been following since about 4th grade. Not insertive! The Cedar album is called Si Vis Pacem Parabellum, which Latin means if you want peace, prepare for war. Their best in years, arguably since Karma and Effect, even though Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces is a great album in its own right. Mm-hmm. And finally, Gojira dropped a new single, Another World, which hopefully will soon be followed by a new album. There's no news on that yet. I'm wearing the shirt actually where I saw not Slayer. Why did I say Slayer? Not Fest Roadshow, where Gojira was there, and they said live that they're going to be working on another album soon, and this was 2019, pre-Backstreet Boys reunion tour. This was another excellent tour. But yeah, hopefully looking forward to a new Gojira album soon. And fitting for Spooky Month, there is something about skeletons.
Yeah, so we might as well use that transition. I can't wait till he uses it, so it looks really good. I can't wait to use it. I can't wait to use it. I can't wait till he uses it. Here it goes.
Into our main news.
Push the button.
Push the button.
I pushed the button. Go ahead. Go ahead and talk about Brothers Osborne.
The Brothers Osborne. Skeletons!
It looks so good! It looks so fucking good! Alright, continue.
It's like, yeah, let's let Scarfy just nerd out over it. As Halloween draws ever nearer, this is an appropriate album title for them to have. Even though there's no skeleton on the album cover, there's just them walking through a keyhole, which I guess you could say skeleton key. Whatever. While trick-or-treating will likely only take place in Animal Crossing.
Or Florida.
Or Florida. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think because people can wear masks and social distance, people leaving candy outside, but then again, sanitize it every time, it's probably not worth it. And anyways, you can just have candy at home. Yeah, it's going to be a weird year for the little kids. But there's still plenty of ear candy to enjoy this Spooktober. Even though I've made it clear I'm not really a country fan. This is not my thing, and largely it's just like it seems kind of like stale or dull. I'm like, but I'm not opposed to country influence, like stuff like Leonard Skinner and Volbeat, and of course the archetypical thing of I don't like country, but Johnny Cash is good, and I still do love the traditional singing of "Thank God I'm a Country Boy" at Orioles games. It's a 7th-inning stretch, but this is the side of the country I can roll with this. The kind of it's so speedy, goofy, and into it that I love it. Kind of like Primus in a way, another band with that kind of influence. A band that, and I found this YouTube comment very appropriate, described Primus as Tool for hillbillies, which I think is pretty accurate.
Oh, really?
At least for this song.
I want to interject with Primus.
Especially the prominent bass too.
Can I say something about the Primus vibes real quick? He drove so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
Never did win no checker place, but he certainly didn't finish last. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dead Man's Curve is the short, speedy track about I'm going. You hear me? I'm going.
Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Dead Man's Curve, short, speedy track about a country staple.
Yeah, we're having internet troubles?
It's just going to be all over the place. I can hear you guys fine. You guys are coming in fine. Just keep going.
It's stinky. We're going over Dead Man's Curve.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, about the country staple, which the lyrics actually are a bit self-referential in that case. One of the lines says, "She's what every country song's about." Yeah, the whole thing about all country songs being about beer, Jesus, pickup trucks, and women. This one's no exception. They kind of do a tongue-in-cheek reference at themselves, which I can appreciate. There's also All Night, which not really as much my style of song, but there's a video about trying to have fun in quarantine, which is something we've all had to do. And also, they're from Maryland, so respect to that also.
So, yeah, I actually took a watch at this music video, and it's actually really well done. I really enjoyed what I had to see. We might be experiencing a little bit of dips, but we're gonna run smoothly as always. So guys, I have before I don't mean to.
I will keep posted in on my personal account in case shit does hit the fan. But
okay, well,
we're just gonna go with it. This is the new norm, unfortunately. This is why we record stuff. But go ahead.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I want to say just give a shout out to Kiri Kuwaks. That is Garrus Kuwin. He is the one who created our beautiful designs that we are currently using right now. Say hi to Kiri Kuwaks. He's awesome. We will be here is his Twitter account. He's a great guy online.
Hello. Also, I don't know. I didn't know this. You said it was Polish, right?
He is Polish. Yes.
Yeah. The band I mentioned, Behemoth, they're from Poland, and they're notoriously hated by the authorities because they're very very satanic imagery and stuff. But it is what it is. But I've seen them. I want to say, 3 times. Twice with Slayer and once with Slipknot. They're a very good band.
Anything you want to say about the brothers Osborne, Naka?
I mean, sorry, I have a teeny little bit of a headache just dealing with all the issues, and something I'll get into a little bit later. But
of course,
I'd be surprised if it didn't, because this thing sounds like a headache.
Yeah, but I just need to embrace the new norm right now, which does suck, but we just got to keep moving forward. I got to keep telling that to myself, or else I'll just spiral down a clip. I'll go over Dead Man's Curve.
Yes. The song literally sounds like that, which I love. It's very picky, very fast.
I definitely do like how this is, a bit like Primus, and then, Jared was a race car driver, and, the South Park theme. And this is definitely something that I'll listen to every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time that Primus did the South Park theme. I didn't realize that until like last year. I'm like, that is them. Mm-hmm. I didn't know.
If you go to a Primus concert, they'll shout "Primus sucks." It's like Kurt Angle, and how everybody in the WWE crowd just says "You suck" when his theme song plays, and he's like, "Yeah, this is cool. This is my vibe."
Yeah.
But, Brothers Osborne's got that similar Primus vibe, so like whenever I'm playing a game that I'll talk about in a little bit, I might turn it on. But we need not to fear the Reaper.
Yeah,
that's
because the symbol remains. The symbol indeed remains. This is real. This is not fake news. This, I know it's hard, might be hard to believe, but for the first time in almost 20 years, their last album was 2001 and was not very well received, and there were some issues with management, and they were eventually dropped from their label, but they were re-signed. They started recording again, and this is the result, and so far, it sounds really good. The album is a perfect title, and as suggested to the band's longevity, as you can see, the album cover is fitting, the infamous hook and cross logo crashing down from the sky like a meteor. The band bursts right out of the gate on track 1, as I read ahead as a line, but the 3 available tracks kind of represent aspects of the band perfectly. First one, it just burst out of the gate with a very hard-hitting "That Was Me," taps into their, it shows their influence in how they were and continue to be influential in rock and heavy metal, and were described on, I think, Pandora as, quote, the thinking man's heavy metal band. So, and if you listen to Ghost, also, they're very much Blue Oyster Cult inspired with the aesthetic, how the tunes, the occult kind of references and all that. Also, this is Blue Oyster Cult is basically if some sci-fi nerds formed a rock band, which actually is the case. They're all sci-fi fans. They even use some sci-fi, like a story on Box in My Head, which is their signature, which taps into their signature weird, obscure aesthetic. It's kind of like their I was watching recently Achievement Hunter play The Room, which is a big like puzzle game, and there's this obscure stuff about this null element that's like something that you've never seen before, and it's like the color out of space a little bit. Then there's Tainted Blood, which shows their love for the occult, supernatural, and the fantastical horror. Tainted Blood, which sounds like it's about a vampire losing the love of his life and wishes to join her in death. There is also a song on the album called Florida Man, so I'm quite interested to see or hear what that one is like and about, and maybe Grace Still Plays will enjoy it too. Also, Go Gators.
And Go Gators Spleen's the cat plushie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Spleens, I don't know if you've seen it, Spleens had an offspring, which...
tonsils.
No, it's blue cheese, they called it, which looks like, it's in his most recent video, the Sims thing. The cat, he described it as it's like if Steve Buscemi was a cat, which is quite funny. Yeah, this album, I realized I forgot the dates, but I think both of them are coming out on October 9th, obviously before next week. So I'm definitely getting this album. I mainly have listened to, before this, the 1980 and 81 albums, respectively, Cultosaurus Erectus, I know, but, and Fire of Unknown Origin. Those are my two favorite Blue Oyster Cult albums, and this one is going to be another one that I will very likely enjoy because they sound excellent. Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom are still there. I think only the drummer and backup bassist are new people, or the backup bassist, there's no backup bassist, that's not a thing. But yeah, they sound really good. They've been around for a hell of a long time. From I think they started in '67. New Osterkalt. Where are they formed? Yeah, 1967 from Long Island, New York. And they've been making music pretty much ever since, aside from the drought periods. But it sounds really good.
You know, it's always nice to have Blue Oyster Cult back in the mainstream. That's just it's nice. It's nice.
It is. I was listening to their voice, and it was very well done. And yeah, it's nice to see what's going on. So are we? I guess we're transitioning back to our main screen so that you can announce some things, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, Blue Oyster Cult.
To answer Zach's question, they're back to making, or presumably already made it. It's just waiting to be released. But they were. The story was from Wikipedia. What I read is that they were debating it, and they were a little apprehensive about it. It was like, I don't know, if they didn't like the last one, I don't know if they're going to like the next one, so we should just keep touring as long as we can. But no, they went back. They eventually went back in the studio, got stuff together, and have so far made what sounds like a kick-ass album. And it's awesome to see bands that are pretty old still sound like at the top of their game. Much like Judas Priest still sounds at the top of their game. So yeah, that's it. Time for speed.
All right. Boom. It's always nice. Some new things for this season and moving forward. I will no longer be talking about race weekends and the races that occur. The only time I'll be talking about NASCAR is for the 2021 season Shakedown, which is the last year of the Generation 6 car, by the way. And I will be announcing the champions when the season ends in Phoenix in about 5-6 weeks. Talladega was a race that happened today, and then all the bullshit happened, but I'm not going to talk about it because I just said I'm not going to talk about the races. All right. I did a lot of angry tweets earlier in case...
I saw a bunch of them. I'm like, something's got to...
I am still pissed. I'm still pissed. They just rescinded one of the penalties for one of the drivers, and they're not going to do it to the driver who should have won the fucking race, but whatever. I got to move on. Closer to the launch of their respective systems, we will be talking about Xbox and Sony's new consoles, the Xbox Series S, which is the digital version of the Series X, and the PlayStation 5. And I'm going to bring up games that are scheduled to release for those systems in the future, and every now and then what I'm going to talk about is a game that I've played in the off-season. Move the slide next to the... Oh, I see what you're talking about. You could have just said that out loud, Scarfy.
Well, I wanted people to be prepared, that's all.
All right.
I'm going to let you finish, but...
Every now and then, I'll talk about a game that I played over our break, whether it's new, old, or unique, take on a classic. Every so often, I'll talk about one. I bring up Primus and a certain game. Specifically, Jerry was a race car driver, but I'll get into that. First, I do want to talk about the NASCAR 2021 season Shakedown, because it's big. Chicagoland and Kentucky are gone from the schedule. I'm going to go over the primary changes. I don't have specific dates, just other than for key races. So, Homestead Miami Speedway, which was supposed to be in March, April this year, but due to pandemic got shuffled to June. That'll now be the second race of the season because it'll keep people in Florida. I mean, that makes sense to me. Bristol is going to lose one of its race dates to run a dirt race at Bristol, so the spring race is now going to be a dirt race. The Martinsville night race is going to be the 8th round of the season. Darlington gets a second date. And both Darlington races will run 750 horsepower low downforce, that's what they should have been doing in the first place. That'll be run on May 9th, which is Mother's Day. I believe that is Mother's Day next year, which is interesting. That'll be the 12th race of the season. Replacing a Texas race will be Circuit of the Americas, a Formula One and IndyCar track in Austin, Texas, which is going to be very interesting. Sonoma is going to be round 16, which is right around halfway through the season. The All-Star race, which will be held at Texas instead of Bristol, where it was held this year, and Charlotte, where it's been held pretty much ever since the All-Star race began. That's going to happen June 13th. We'll get more details, next year about what's going to happen. Another new track, I should have mentioned that Circuit of the Americas is a new track to the schedule. The Nashville Super Speedway, which really only ran Xfinity Series / the Busch Series back in the day in the mid-2000s, early 2010s. That'll be round 17. Pocono still going to have its doubleheader like they did this year for the next 2 rounds. July 4th weekend, actually specifically on July 4th, the Cup Series will be going to Road America in Wisconsin. Atlanta gets a second date right afterwards. The Brickyard 400 is now going to be run on the Indianapolis Road Course, and it will be a doubleheader weekend with IndyCar and NASCAR for the Cup Series, which is really, really big. Michigan, with its only date, will be round 25. The Southern 500 is going to be, first race after the playoffs. And then the really only other 2 shakeups are that Kansas and Texas, I believe, swap dates in the playoffs. But that is your 2021 season shakedown. You can read the article if you're interested. And that's pretty much it for NASCAR until about another 4, 5, 6 weeks. But now, you may have known that Twitter went down a couple days ago for about half an hour.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy. This is a decision that happened. Also, it didn't work, sorry. I tried doing the hotkey to switch it over, but I had to, whatever.
We'll do it next time.
Yeah, Minecraft Steve has been confirmed for Smash Bros. Ultimate. As divisive of a decision this was, I do understand why Steve is coming. I'm disappointed, but I'm understanding. It is the best. Minecraft is the best-selling video game in the world across all its platforms. It's like, I only found out recently that Tetris is now number 3 on the list, behind Grand Theft Auto 5 and Minecraft. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Nintendo and Microsoft came to a decision again to bring in now Microsoft-owned character, Steve from Minecraft, to Smash. Some people were so upset that Twitter was down on the reveal trailer date for about half an hour. The information about Steve's everywhere at this point, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, other than Steve's set to drop on October 14th. You'll get the primary Steve skin. You'll get 2 alternate Steve skins, which is the one with a kilt and the tennis player, which I could assume be references to when Achievement Hunter first started playing Minecraft. And Ryan still uses that kilt skin. And Gavin,
I watched some of those. He used to be the tennis player, but yeah.
Gavin used to be the tennis player. There will be 3 skins of Alex, which is the other primary character for Minecraft. There will also be Zombie and Enderman. Those are going to be your 8 skins. It's going to be like $5 if you don't own the Fighters Pass 2, which Fighters Pass 2 has been a thing with Min, but I'll move on. Travis Touchdown, which is going to be a sword fighter. Bomberman, Minecraft Pig, Minecraft Creeper. Those 3 are brawlers. Diamond Armor, which is a sword fighter. And Gil from Tower of Draga. Draga is a sword fighter. They are the new Mii costumes that will release alongside Steve on October 14th for the Nintendo Switch.
I haven't played Smash Bros. In a hot minute, but I do want to see how these characters play out. I'm hoping that either when he gets hurt, or characters make sounds when they get hurt, that Steve's just ooh.
It's not.
And that whenever he picks up food,
one of his taunts is eating a steak. So
yeah.
Oh my god! You just had to have those ready.
Yeah, actually I didn't know this until I saw the subtitles for it when someone has subtitles on for Minecraft mods. The sound at the end of that is a burp.
Were you guys ever a fan of Minecraft playing, or did you ever play Minecraft?
I mean, I still play Minecraft from time to time, and Silverwolf94, one of my friends, just confirmed no voices for Steve. I assume also no voices for Alex Zombie and Enderman, which makes sense because it is a silent protagonist character technically, and all they do is just go or they make
when they die
pop noises, so which makes sense. But
but also, if anyone's wondering, Alex is the female character of Minecraft,
yes.
right?
the Scottish one, it looks
yes,
like.
The orange-haired one.
Yes, redhead.
Yeah, that's why I said Scottish.
Anyway,
having played Minecraft pretty much like on a semi-regular basis since 2011, I am going to pick up Steve, but I'm not. The thing is with DLC characters is that they, for a fighting game, they work for me the same as cars in a racing game. It just feels incomplete without them. And I know my friend right there in the chat has told me, hey, by the way, if you ever pick Steve, I'm just going to bully you. And I'm just like, that's fair. I mainly play as Pencil, who I have dubbed Random. So, if Steve ever comes up in my random rotation, I have a target on my back.
So, I wanted to say that when it came to Steve, I was actually kind of surprised that I was not as angry as most people were, but to be honest, I didn't really care that Minecraft Steve was going to be in Smash. I was just happy that we didn't get another Fire Emblem character, so yay that.
Yeah, I think they have enough of those.
I think they have way too many Fire Emblem characters. I'm sorry, but I'm just glad. Yeah,
I do like pissing people off with Roy and just up-B spam. But I did see this animated adult trailer for a potential Doom guy in Smash, which I think would be an amazing choice. And his final Smash, of course, is the BFG, which will basically erase everything on the stage. He uses chainsaw and punches and shoots guns and everything.
I'm still holding out I'm still crossing my claws for Waluigi. I still want my Waluigi, goddammit. Anyway, Steve, honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised. I want to know how Steve plays. I like that Steve is in the game. A lot of people say that, the only reason why Minecraft Steve is in this game is because, it's a bestseller. Of course, they want to get people of the demographic to play this game. Well, it's also another thing. You also have to think of it this way. Guess which other character is owned by Microsoft?
Yeah, Master Chief. Yeah. Oh, and
no,
Banjo.
In Smash.
Banjo does,
yes.
Because Banjo is a Rareware character and Rareware is now owned by Microsoft. It is. That's why I said the second Microsoft owned character in Smash.
Correct. And this could be the reason as to why Steve is now in this game. Maybe Microsoft made a deal with Nintendo or something like that. We'll never know. All we can do is speculate. But hey, I can't wait till Steve appears.
Yeah,
and I was surprised as anyone.
I was a little confused, only because the Xbox YouTube channel posted this in like a community tab announcement. I'm like, but Smash isn't on Xbox. I'm like, oh well, Microsoft, of course, but okay, Xbox, if you can say something about it, sure.
And for people who are angry, I do need to point this out. Smash Brothers, as much as it is a fighting game, as much as it is a fun fighting game to play,
it's a party game.
Smash
disguised
Brothers
as a fighting game. That's what it is. It's a party game disguised as a fighting game.
That's not what I was going to say. That is not what I was going to say at all. I was going to say Smash Brothers is basically a catalog. It is a catalog where you play as a character, you end up liking the character. And then what it does to you is that you end up liking the characters so much that you actually want to play the game that the character is in. Do you see how it works?
It's also kind of an anthology in a way of the history of game. Not always the history, but like the expanse of popular gaming characters.
I mean, I had this discussion the other day, like when there was like the announcement was, announced, like that there was going to be an announcement. I was just like, it's like I thought it was either going to be Sora. Leaks were pointing to Dante, and I'm just like, I still have hope for Master Chief because there's so much stuff that they could pull from for the Halo franchise that makes sense. And entire friend group, exactly. I'm part of this friend group that Silverwolf94 is talking about. I'm now invested in the Persona 5 lore and stuff, and have watched like 3 of his playthroughs of Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. because Joker was in Smash.
Believe it or not, I played the game. I was really impressed by it. I was surprised as to how long the game was. I was impressed by the soundtrack. We used part of the soundtrack as our elevator music. So.
I think that's actually the thing that might entice me to play. Is just the soundtrack was pretty good. I mean, you heard the intro music, which I liked. I think I've seen more from like what Persona is from Death Battle, formerly Screw Attack. They had some characters fighting and just like showed how their battle style works, how they fight, stuff like that.
So yeah, basically, as I said before, Smash is basically an interactive catalog. You get to play with the character, you get to fight with the character, and then you end up with the character so much that you want to play the game.
And then you love them.
Therefore spending more money on what you want to play as. But anyway,
I was laughing a little bit earlier when you brought up Banjo because I was reminded of something that happened last night. Because I had gotten home and my friends were all playing Smash, and one of my friends was playing his Banjo, and if you'll excuse me, I have to go choke the chicken. Walks to the edge of the stage and just starts firing Kazooie's X. It's a lot funnier in context. Yeah. You'd never heard of Persona before. Right. Saw Joker's reveal trailer and her life will change. That single-handedly made you want to get Persona 5, which is honestly, that's kind of...
that's what I was saying, the music.
Smash. I feel like with the revitalization...
Yeah, the music is really good.
With Bear and Bird, I call Banjo-Kazooie Bear and Bird sometimes. Being announced for Smash back in Fighters Pass 1, that revitalized Banjo-Kazooie for a lot of people, which is I feel like that should be these things going forward, is that you're going to see a resurgence of people playing Minecraft again, because now Steve is now in Smash. And, it drives people to play games.
I mean, as if they needed that. I think last year Minecraft was ahead of Fortnite in, like, active players.
God, by the way, and speaking of which, I'd much rather take Steve than take a character from Fortnite. Sorry, just had
it's like, what are their names? Some of them look cool, but now they're just adding Marvel characters to it.
Yeah, they've added Star Wars characters, Marvel characters, they've added Disney characters, which is Marvel, but whatever.
The last thing I saw was Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
that's all. Like, if it was a unique Fire Emblem character, like Byleth, not another Marth clone, would you have been okay with it, or have you just been like, no Fire Emblem characters?
They all operate like Marth.
No Fire Emblem characters. I'm sorry, they all play the same to me. They all play the same. I don't find any uniqueness with any of them.
They do feel kind of samey. I will say that.
Anyway, that is all I have to say about Minecraft Steve. I'm happy that it's coming out. I can't wait to try it out. I want to know how he plays, and yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for him. So.
All right, now we move on to...
I think...
Pick it up. So here I am, doing everything I can, holding on to what I am, pretending I'm a Superman. Something that nobody expected to come out of 2020 was Activision announcing another remaster/remake, much less a Tony Hawk remake. I'm gonna segue. Robin, Korn, and Byleth are as different from each other as Joker and Wii Fit Trainer, but there are too many Mars. Understandable. And also, there's Sergeant Dangle Eat Bits, but we'll get into that another time. That also came out last night. But another it's a Tony Hawk remake/remaster. So how did they fuck it up, you ask? They didn't. This is Activision, you're saying. Surely they fucked something up. Well, you have to believe me, they didn't. They did not fuck up with this game. Vicarious Visions...
It looks crispy!
Vicarious Visions was the... You play 3 of the Marth clones. Vicarious Visions was the development studio behind the game, known for the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS versions of Tony Hawk back in the day, as well as the Switch version of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy for the Xbox, They also, I'm thinking they also did the Spyro remake, Spyro Trilogy remake, but I could be wrong about that. I think that's actually Toys for Bob, but continuing on.
Wait, Activision or
No, Activision being the publisher. I'm talking
gotcha.
about development studios. Vicarious Visions knows what the hell they're doing, even getting original Neversoft handling code and staff to work on the game to fine-tune the skating mechanics, making sure that the lines were good and everything like that. And unfortunately, they can't use Neversoft's old engine because Neversoft's technically defunct. But
Was Neversoft the one that also worked on Guitar Hero?
they did most of the Guitar Hero games, yes.
Yeah, I remember their intros were pretty cool. The spear through the eye or whatever.
They haven't made a game since 2017 with Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, so they must have been really busy working on this game.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, they take their time to make it look good.
Thanks to newer mechanics like revert, spine transfers, and wall planes, you can shred through levels like never before, and have way higher combo scores. Thanks to modern visuals, the Unreal Engine being very dependable, most of the original soundtrack, except for like 3 songs total from the two games, as well as 37 new bonus tracks. So it's a stacked soundtrack. All the original skaters return, just aged up, plus a bunch of so my friend who was actually playing his banjo last night is here.
The egg throwing man.
Yes. They're basically all just aged up to what they look like now. All the levels now look like modern editions of classic levels, with the mall being abandoned and run down, school having messages about learning from home, Marseille having its layout identical to their most recent Red Bull competition, which is really cool. And more, again, I have to reiterate, all the original skaters from 1 and 2 rescan to look like how they do today, except for Spider-Man and Private Carrera. And I think Ollie the Bum is not a secret skater, but that might come in a future patch.
The Bum.
New skaters include the Birdman, aka Tony Hawk, his son Riley Hawk, Nigel Houston, Lizzie Armanto, and Leo Baker, one of the first non-binary professional skaters in the sport. Inclusion like that gives the game a wider audience in the long run. Jack Black is actually tasked with playing Officer Dick, a secret character, as well as providing the lines for Ollie the Bum in Venice. So if you want to hear some lines from your favorite music teacher, luchador wrestler, or panda who knows kung fu, there you go.
Yeah. Yep, he does all of those things.
Yes, he does.
And heavy metal, too.
This game had a ton of weight on its shoulders because anybody remember Pro Skater 5 or Pro Skater HD or Tony Hawk Ride or Tony Hawk Shred? Yeah, thanks.
That was one of the games that had like the little skateboard thing you stood on.
Those games were ass.
Oh, thank you, Robomoto.
I never played them, but I remember seeing that. I'm like, I don't know how well that's going to work.
Robomoto basically ran this franchise into the ground, but Vicarious Visions pretty much pulled it from the grave and rejuvenated it. They blew expectations out of the water.
You're not dying on me yet!
Like, Pro Skater 1 and 2 has been one of the best-selling games in the franchise so far. It sold 1 million copies in less than 2 weeks. Both critics and fans agree with me. If you're looking to relive the heyday of the late 90s, early 2000s, or if you're looking to get your feet on the board for your first skateboarding game, go pick up Pro Skater 1+2. It is on the Xbox One. It's on the Epic Game Store, and I'm not sure when it's coming to Steam. And it's also currently on PS4. However, there are, like, I have been brought this, Proud Trico's brought this up to me, I'm keeping names anonymous, that there have been Switch HUD and control layout elements hidden in the files, so there might be a Switch version coming out.
So someone did some sneaky research.
Yeah, those were revealed with the demo, but oh my god, I've been playing the fuck out of this game recently.
And I remember you told me that this particular game blows the originals out of the water.
It does.
And then some.
Like, the thing with Pro Skater and Pro Skater 2 is that they completely revolutionized the skateboarding game genre, but they are very hard to go back to nowadays. But
but is it as good as Skate 3?
Skate 3 is definitely jank, and it's...
I love that it's like a game that's meant to be broken in a way.
Yes, but it's hard to compare Tony Hawk in Skate 3 in the Skate franchise. However, this has completely, revitalized the franchise. 1 + 2 = 3. Yes, people are thinking that maybe there will be a Pro Skater 3 DLC in the future, which would be cool. I'd like the Pro Skater 3 guys and Pro Skater 3 skaters. Because people are like... Because in Hangar, which is like the warehouse version... It's the warehouse level, but for Pro Skater 2. There's all like the Neversoft games from Pro Skater to Proving Ground, I want to say. And for Underground 2, Bam Margera's not on the cover. But the only reason why he's not on the cover is because he was not in Pro Skater 1 or 2. He was in Pro Skater 3.
What's happened to him since then? I know he's on drugs or something and like had rehab issues.
Brad Chirico can explain more about Bam Margera, but Tony specifically said himself that if this did well, he would love to do 3 and 4, which is great because I love the levels in 3 and 4. Definitely this is, other than Thug Pro, this is probably and Thug Pro's a mod, it's not a full game, even though it's got most of the old levels. And, some levels from American Wasteland and Project 8 and custom levels. But from the ground up, Pro Skater 1 + 2 is one of the best games in the franchise. Like, yes, there is still the Underground games, and I consider American Wasteland technically Underground 3. I still like Proving Ground, but only the 360/PS3 version and the DS versions. But for the Pro Skater series, 1 + 2 is probably the best you're going to get.
I also wanted to, because you said Epic Games, and that reminded me, because for some reason, Rocket League now, instead of Rocket ID, I think has Epic Games, like, affiliate, which is probably why they have a Fortnite kind of event. The Fortnite bus is now a vehicle in the game that you can get, and I'm not interested in it. But
it's because Fortnite. It's because Rocket League's actually become free to play.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For us, sort of a little public service announcement. It happened a little while ago, but since then I've seen a lot more players online, which is really cool. It's a fun game that I grind almost daily.
By the way, Krüz, you were asking about how Bam's doing. He's totally sober. Went through a rough patch in life, which makes sense. With Ryan Dunn passing away a bunch of years ago, and a father living a happy, healthy life, and that's good.
That's good. Glad he turned it around, because I know he was. I think he got arrested a few times, and it's kind of a hard thing to get out of. I mean, you saw at the NFL, at least with Josh Gordon, how it kept relapsing. So yeah, breaking out of that cycle is a real good thing for. I hope he's doing well. I did watch Viva La Bam back in the day. That was quite entertaining. They turned his uncle's front yard into a swamp, and he got so pissed.
Yeah, I believe hearing that he doesn't live in that house anymore because, it made him depressed living in the house because there were no camera crews anymore. So
it's hard life to adjust to, not doing the same thing anymore.
Yeah, but enough about. As much as I'd like to talk about Tony Hawk 1 + 2 for a long goddamn time, we do need to move on to other things. Specifically,
right.
I still don't have the thing right. Hold on. The thing with
Ride me.
Novak was the bad addict. Bam helped him get sober, and Kim Counselor got Bam's. Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of things.
Yeah, friends helping friends. I love to see it.
But we now move on to motorcycles, specifically Ride 4. Italian developer Milestone has really hit their marks with the Ride series. Remember way back in season 3 or 4 we talked about Gravel? Same developers, but a way better series overall. Ride has been dubbed as the Forza Motorsport of bike racing games, which makes sense. It is technically a fair comparison, and it's the same pick-up and play Simcade's bike racer this generation. Easy for new players and fun for experts is essentially that's what it is. Each game is improved on the previous title, adding new bikes and new tracks with the each installment, as well as gameplay tweaks and customization. This is looking to be one of the best installments of the franchise and is going to be releasing for PC, PS4, and Xbox One on October 8th, 2020. Oh, I forgot to mention, Tony Hawk's been out for a while. Xbox Series X and PS5 versions are scheduled for January 21st, 2021, barring any issues with hardware delivery and things like that.
That's a week after my birthday.
Congratulations.
8 days, but whatever. But congratulations, you survived another year. What do you want, a fucking medal?
But,
yes, actually.
Oh, damn it.
No.
I forgot to do my congratulations, Sailor. You made it to Friday retweet this week. Anyway, what do you guys have to say about Ride 4, other than bikes?
I look at it, and I'm actually kind of surprised that this franchise is not getting the attention it deserves, because it looks really fun. At least for me, anyway. I don't know about you, but
it's
what about you,
Krüz?
Krüz?
It's more niche. That's why. And it's primarily why.
Bikes. It too.
Yeah.
I mean, I always loved, as much as I may or may not have been good at it, I honestly don't remember, but I love doing those motorcycle arcade games, where you're on the little motorcycle thing. Mm-hmm. That kind of just added something to it. I mean, that's just kind of what I grew up with. I noticed that when you said Forza, I noticed it looks as crispy and refined. I don't know if that's actual gameplay footage. I don't know if usually it says gameplay or not gameplay footage, but even if it isn't, it still looks like it controls and runs buttery smooth. I haven't been into racing games since I had Need for Speed Rivals, but and I probably the closest I get to racing games is probably Mario Kart at this point, but it does look quite crispy and buttery smooth.
You bring up Need for Speed. I forgot to bring up that there's an announcement tomorrow, and it's most likely going to be Hot Pursuit 2010 Remastered. Coming to the Switch, and I believe it is rumored to have cross-play.
I think I had Hot Pursuit on the Wii.
Yeah, you didn't get the best experience with Hot Pursuit 2010, though.
It wasn't that super impressive, but I think I played... My favorite is still Underground 2, because that was the first one I played. I played Underground on a friend's PlayStation, then I played Shift on the iPad, which... The annoying part with that is that I had to remember to screen lock the orientation, because if I turned too aggressively, it would flip the screen over and fuck me over.
Yikes. But, yeah, that's something I forgot to announce, is that, there's a reveal tomorrow at 8 a.m., but it's most likely going to be Hot Pursuit 2010. Not only has box art been leaked, with Zero rating on it.
Stay tuned.
They've also been preaching 510, which is, another thing for police and outrunning the police. And what they have on their main website is a road that is featured on the cover of Hot Pursuit 2010. So all signs are leading to
the only thing I remember off the top of my head, other than 10-4, is 1034, which is a riot, because that was a hell yeah intro thing.
But yeah, so stay tuned for that at 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific tomorrow. But
wake your ass up for that.
I will talk about it next Sunday. Just going to put that out there now. But however, we must move on to another shitty game, a shitty annual game, FIFA 21, which has proudly put microtransactions in a kids magazine, then told them saying, "Oh, we don't want to do this," exposing EA's hypocrisy. It's football. And I'm not talking about the kind of football where they hand it to each other. I'm talking about the kind where they use their foot. Haha, that's a spin on the AVGN Atari Sports rant.
Dude. It's called soccer in here, but it's called football in many other countries.
Yes.
If anything, we're the ones that should be laughed at.
I mean, here's the thing. But also, yeah, we should be laughing at for that. Oh, they don't call it soccer. The reason it's called soccer is because that's derived from the word association.
FIFA is so EA mentality. What does that even mean?
EA in a nutshell. There's a great Gmod video on it that basically describes what that means.
But it's another microtransaction-infested roster update shitstorm of a football game, and I'm actually talking about the kind where they use their foot. Much like the Madden controversy this year, it's probably just going to be the same goddamn thing, but with more microtransactions and worse drop rates, because that's EA. That's EA. And
but hey, at least Lamar Jackson's on the cover. I mean, I appreciate that, and, Madden curse notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm. American football does equal hand egg. That is coming from the Canadian, one of the two Canadians.
Yeah, but it's also like, what? If it's an egg, why would people be running into each other so, like, aggressively? They break the egg. Guess what? It's not an egg.
I don't know, but
You can't call it handball because that's a different game.
yeah, EA has been exposed for promoting those microtransactions in kids magazines. There's a Young EA video about it. Oh, you mean how it's like every EA microtransaction reskin? It's because the football is egg shaped. That's why a lot of us call it hand egg.
It kind of is.
Oh, by the way, if you buy the Legacy version...
Eggs are fatter at one end.
Yeah, if you're buying the Legacy version, you're basically buying FIFA 13 with a roster update. You're dumb. It's a $60 roster update for the Switch, and it releases the same day as the Windows, Xbox One, and PS4 releases, which is October 9th. I don't know why you'd want to buy this game. Just play FIFA 14 and imagine that you're playing as the new players.
I will say the Canadians have their own American Football League, too.
Yes, the Canadian Football League, the CFL.
Yeah. They actually had a team in Baltimore briefly, the Baltimore Stallions.
Yeah, by the way, you remember the Google Stadia?
Fun fact.
You remember the Google Stadia? I don't, but somehow FIFA 21 is getting a Stadia release sometime in the future, as well as it's getting a launch for the Xbox Series S/X and PlayStation 5. Those dates are going to be announced later. I don't know why you'd care. Just play FIFA 14 and imagine you're playing as new players. That's all.
Use your imagination.
There's not much to say about FIFA 21. I've talked about like these EA Sports titles so many times on the show. You know how I feel about these EA Sports titles.
You really do not like the fact that there's microtransactions, do you?
Oh my god, they're so heavy. They're so
the games
predatory.
in the games. Well, they are kind of. You can argue easily that they are kind of samey, but basically, what they end up talking about, at least for Madden, is that they just keep updating the AI to make it smarter so that they play like real humans.
Yeah, that's called a patch.
Yeah, you could charge money for like updates, I guess.
You could charge like a $10 season update.
I mean, it sounds reasonable to me, but obviously that means that EA won't do it.
EA, they're not going to do it.
That's what I mean.
You said about Mario Kart? Well, I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe definitely was a $60 reskin of Mario Kart 8, but they actually added content to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and fixed things to make it a better game, whereas the EA Sports titles, for the most part, have not.
I think that's a little unfair to Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart hasn't really done that much of like rehashing compared to EA. EA is kind of the king of that.
Mm-hmm. And as much as I do like the NHL, by the way, go Seattle Kraken. Haha, that's been confirmed.
Welcome, new friends.
And I mean,
Fun fact, exactly. Seattle Metropolitans, back in the day, they were the first American team to win the Stanley Cup.
Yep, but just like the Sonics, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, there are talks to bring them back, because they're also called the Supersonics. They had cool uniforms, I'll say.
And Rodriguez is bringing up, yes, 8 Deluxe did have all of 8's DLC included in the price, which is, good. But enough about that. I don't have a visual for this one, so I am going to move it over to the next one and then do the nice transition. But Animal Crossing is getting a Halloween update.
Oh, yes.
So this is a thing that just dropped specifically September 30th, so 4 days ago. Saw the release of the Halloween update for Animal Crossing New Horizons, bringing forth candy, new decorations, pumpkins, new clothing, new skin tones, which are like for costumes, eye colors, and a special event on Halloween, which is set from 5 p.m. to midnight. I believe that will be your local time, not like a set server time.
Yeah. That's usually how they do it, I think, because the game works in real time.
Yes. That will be the time for trick-or-treating in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Jack, the Czar of Halloween, will show up to hang out. Have fun giving out candy to your villagers and look at their costumes, as well as your friends. Nook Link, which is some mobile app that I don't know how that works, because I don't own Animal Crossing New Horizons, because it's not my style of game, is releasing an update sometime early this month.
So they have an actual app. This was the thing I didn't know.
Yes, this is an actual phone app. However, a Nintendo Switch Online membership is required to use the app. It'll have new reactions to things and other stuff you can do in the game. There will be a holiday-themed update released sometime in November as well for Thanksgiving and Ai Kurimbo. The holiday that happens on the 25th of December every year.
I didn't think that it was real, but apparently that is real slang. That's
Christmas
real British slang for Christmas, crimbo.
And it happens once a year. Naka doesn't know where I got that from.
I don't care. It's October. One holiday at a fucking time.
It's like Jeremy from Achievement Hunter berating Gavin because Gavin is British. He's like, what do you mean sarn equals sandwich? Where's the RN in sandwich? Why do you call it that? It's the same thing for crimbo. It's like,
Hi, Crimbo.
they make up. They're just making them up now. But yeah, crimbo is in fact Christmas. You're allowed to say the word as much as some people apparently. I laugh at both sides who are like, oh, they're trying to kill Christmas versus like, you're like so insistent on Christmas being said versus Christmas being, equated to authoritarianism. Fuck that shit.
Uh-huh.
I'll say Merry Christmas to you, but I don't care. I'll say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Guess what? Everyone's happy.
Anyway,
Not that hard to do, folks.
Guys, just to go with Animal Crossing, if you haven't been doing this already, you need to buy a piece of candy every single day because you only get one piece a day. And planting pumpkins, if you haven't got any of the DIY recipes, you have to either shoot down the balloons or you talk to the people who are inside their houses literally making DIY recipes. Anyway, I've been playing Animal Crossing. I am a huge fan of it, and that's really all I have to say. Anyone else want to say anything, or?
I think that's it for
Go spoopy ween.
video games these days. Kiri brings up the micros are heavy, but EA wants it since FIFA's making around 40%.
Of course they want it.
40% of FIFA's revenue is from FIFA's microtransactions.
That's a lot. Not from game sales.
Are you shitting?
I mean, I guess nowadays because everyone's using Game Pass, they're not paying for the games directly all the time. I don't know if this is on Game Pass for like Xbox, but
the developers still get a cut. I found this out. Developers still get a cut if you download a game off Game Pass. They still get some revenue from that, which is nice. And by the way, if you have an EA Play subscription, which used to be called EA Access, if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, that will be included in your subscription. So you will. So sometime, I believe it's at the end of this month or early November. If you have EA Play, you no longer need to pay the subscription fee, which is like $20 a year, which honestly is not that bad of a deal, to be honest. And it will be included with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So that is another heads up for you. So you can play all the previous titles, EA Sports titles. You can play Burnout Paradise Remastered. You can play Black, which is a Criterion-developed shooter game for the original Xbox. The Need for Speed titles that have come out on the Xbox One, so Rivals, I don't know why you'd want to play that. Payback.
I've managed to glitch the game out a few times. I ran over a street light and it just kept like bobbing in and out of the ground, like falling down over and over again.
But that's just a quick update that I have about EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. There was one thing I forgot to bring up, is that apparently if you have a 250 gigabyte solid state drive on your PC that you have put aside specifically for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you need to get a bigger solid state drive because it will now no longer fit on a 250 gigabyte solid state drive. Activision.
That's so stupid.
Activision, please have a system where the game can utilize their files better. Because there's no way I should be able to fit at least 2 installations of Halo Master Chief Collection, which is about 110 gigs, which has 6 games and all the games.
Is this DLC. Bigger than Red? Is this bigger than Red Dead 2?
Much bigger than Red Dead 2.
What? Jesus Red Dead 2 takes 2 discs. To install it.
It's so dumb, but that's all for video games this week. And Hollywood's a bit fucky right now, isn't it?
It is.
A little bit fucky.
It is. Not much movies have been seen over the summer. Most of them have been unable to be watched, while some of them have gone to streaming services. Believe it or not, they actually turned the movie theater that I was working into a temporary drive-in, which is something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to go to a drive-in theater. Naka, Krüz, what do you think?
I thought it was an excellent idea. I've never been to one. I've been by one because when I was looking at colleges, one of them was Marist, which is in Poughkeepsie, New York, on the Hudson River. So while we were driving around that area, we saw one, and I was like, it also that would be perfect because first of all, you could stay in your car, you're social distancing already. Yeah, I mean it's like what's to lose? I mean you just have to set it up, which takes money, but people have to be willing to do it.
Of course. We'll be talking about the films that will be coming to... so instead of talking about the movies that are coming out in theaters, unfortunately, we will be talking about the films that will be coming to streaming services. So if we keep saying the phrase, we wish this movie was in theaters, or if it's just hard to find to acquire this movie by any virtual means, then you know exactly why we're saying what we're saying. We apologize. We can't cut movies any further. And, as the old saying goes, the show must go on. We finished last season in April and hoped things would get better, but they have resulted the same. And we must now try to push forward with what we have.
I will say this real quick, that I think at least ads for Tenet have said that select theaters are open, and I assume with like safety precautions in place, but it may be different depending on where people live, but in large part, theaters not going to be an option to most people.
I mean,
there's ways we're gonna go ahead and move.
Hold on. There's ways you can put on like live entertainment in movies. It's because there's people have set up makeshift drive-ins, and I know some big name people like Deadmau5 who did a drive-in concert in the Toronto, Ontario, Canada area.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too. Yeah.
I know somebody who went to that show and they loved it because they got to go out and see live music, but they got to social distance. That's like. They're just because artists want to get out and play music for their fans. That's really what they want to do, but they can't put them in like arenas in venues where everybody's cramped together. So they had to compromise. It's it's less crowd space, but everybody's able to social distance because they're staying in and around their cars.
You want to know what it is? It's all cha-ching, cha-ching. They want the money. It's all money. They want the best amount of money. They don't want to have to deal with only less amount of people. It's unfortunate that that's how the world works, but hey, we're just gonna have to make do with what we can, right?
All right.
Largely, I think though, they're bands that really talk about. Sabaton's one of them. They talk about like they legitimately want to give fans a good experience because they around the time the Backstreet Boys reunion tour stopped everything was when they were on tour in Russia. And they said the first thing that we're going to do is finish the tour in Russia once we're able to, because we felt like they were robbed of the experience. It's unfair to them, so we want to give them that experience when we're able to. Anyway,
we're gonna go and move on with the week ahead, and yes, indeed, indeed. We've seen Adam Sandler play a vampire in Hotel Transylvania. Now it's time to see him play a nice guy during Halloween. Hubie Halloween is an upcoming American comedy horror film directed by Stephen Brill. The film stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Julie Bowen, Maya Rudolph, and Ray Liotta, with guest stars appearances all over the place in this film. Hubie Dubois thanklessly spends every Halloween making sure the residents of his hometown, Salem, celebrate safely and play by the rules. But this year, an escaped criminal and a mysterious new neighbor have Hubie on high alert. When people start disappearing, it's up to Hubie to convince the police and townsfolk that the monsters are real, and only he can stop them. I should point out that this film is directed by Stephen Brill, who has a habit of making some of Sandler's works, but unfortunately, those are the least concerning. The biggest film he ever did was co-directed by other directors with him, was a movie called Movie 43. Yeah, which is considered to be one of the worst movies of all time.
I've not heard about this. Do people just go and search like the bottom of Rotten Tomatoes just for shits and giggles? I imagine some do.
Earning a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, so as you can see, his resume in terms of critical reception is really not all that great. Though I do have to give credit where credit is due. Halloween is a very colorful time of year, and the trailer at the very least shows that. Now all we need to know is if this film is going to be good. Well, it's kind of up in the air at this point. All we can do is hope. Not much else to say, except I hope the film is at the very least passable, let alone good. If you want to watch it, the film releases on Netflix on October 7th.
I found something interesting. The movie 33, one of the directors apparently was Rusty Cundiff, who directed the Tales from the Hood, the movie I just saw, Dead Meat, James cover. Generally, the first one was generally good. The second one was a little forced, but damn.
Oh my god, people say that. Oh jeez, people have a lot to say about movie 43. Damn.
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page. It already looks like a hot mess.
Oh, it is. It has so many actors, so many directors. I don't know how this movie even got made. It's crazy. What do you have to say regarding this movie, Naka?
I just hope it's not as shit as movie 43.
Wait, you've heard of movie 43?
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
god,
God.
it's terrible.
How terrible.
Oh, it's so bad.
I think Adam Sandler back in a comedy role. I mean, he's kind of channeling his inner like foosball kind of mode.
Can I ask you guys a question? Did you guys ever see Uncut Gems?
I haven't.
did
I
not
really need to.
Oh,
I
it's
saw
so
bits of
good.
it.
Uncut Gems is on Netflix.
It looks like it's really good.
Uncut Gems, I believe you can watch on Netflix. It's so gosh damn good. You are going to love every single minute of it. It's fantastic. I would hope that you give it a watch. In my opinion, Uncut Gems is basically what revitalized Adam Sandler's career. It's fucking phenomenal. If you ever get the chance to watch Uncut Gems, please do so on Netflix. This movie will also be coming to Netflix. I can only hope it's good. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Is that all we have to say about Hubie Halloween? Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings or anything like that? Or
I hope. I mean, Sandler comedy, some might say, is like has had its day, is coming past. But I don't know. I mean, it looks like, and the like ratio is pretty solid. I mean, it looks like this might be a return to form for Adam Sandler, and I would welcome it if it does well.
Yes. So. We should just watch Uncut Gems when we're done with the show. I don't know.
I got dinner to go to. Not now, but later.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our last film of the week ahead, The War with Grandpa.
Yep,
just recently,
do this and that.
Yes, of course. All right.
There you go.
Just recently, this man got annoyed because he only made $4 million this year. Oh my gosh, only $4 million. It's not like the entire, country could really use that, when a pandemic is going on. Just have to get that out there. Yeah, okay. Well, you got to keep the bills paid somehow, apparently. The War with Grandpa is a 2020 American family comedy film directed by Tim Hill from a screenplay from Tom J. Astle and Matt Ember. Based upon the novel of the same name by Robert Kimmel-Smith. It stars Robert De Niro, Uma Thurman, Rob Riggle, Oaks Fegley, Laura Marano, Cheech Marin, Jane Seymour, and Christopher Walken. Sorry about that.
Uma Thurman. I actually watched Kill Bill yesterday with the same group of friends.
Kill Bill's a great movie.
Yeah.
I still haven't actually seen that.
The first volume 1, not volume 2. Anyway, go on. Sorry for interrupting. I wanted to get that out before I forgot it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Of course. Adapted from the Robert Kimmel-Smith book from the same name that tells the story of Peter, a boy who is forced to give up his room to his grandfather Ed when he moves into the house of his parents. The scheming boy devises a series of outrageous pranks in an attempt to make him move out, but the grandfather fights back with some pranks of his own with the assistance of his friends, and that's basically what the movie is all about. The film is directed by
comedy.
Right. The film is directed by Tim Hill, and it's a director that should interest us because he's directed probably some of the biggest cash grabs known to man. Max Keeble's Big Move, Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Hop. And finally, which actually made my mouth drop, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, which was actually released in Canada this year, but not in the US until next year. Yeah, which is actually a movie I want to see.
Yeah, they're doing the big dumb with that release. Gotta say, they're doing the big dumb.
The big yeah.
The rest, all right, the script seems, all right, so, which is a movie I want to see. The rest, get the finger. I don't care. I don't have high hopes for this trailer at all. The script seems predictable. There doesn't seem to be any form of charm in this film. And let me tell you, there's a lot of A-listers in here, like a lot. Like, how the hell did you get Uma Thurman and Christopher Walken in this movie? Holy shit!
I guess they're willing to, you gotta do your job for a paycheck, and not many movies coming out. You gotta do something.
I mean, apparently so. Well, you're going to get what you pay for with this movie to keep your kids quiet. The film releases on October 9th. I don't know if it's going to be released on Netflix. It'll probably be released either in select theaters, depending on if the pandemic allows. But again, like we said, we wish that all these movies would come out to the theaters, and that's just the way it is for now. And we'll get to that we'll transition back to when we transition back to. All right. So... and as for the coming attractions, well, we're actually going to save that until the poll is over. And the reason why I want to do that is because I really want to switch to video, but that's personally my take. And
I'm going to scroll up again just to remind everybody that, hey, we have a poll for you guys to vote in, and this is democracy. So whatever results that end up happening, we'll go with those results. Because that's how democracy's supposed to work. Ooh, little burn.
Yes.
Little burn. But,
yes. So once again, the straw poll. So once again, we have a poll. It's going to... Oh, God. I want it to expire by the end of the night, honestly. But at the same time, I kind of want to play it fair.
It's not going to give enough people to respond if it's just like, if we do it by the end of the night. Well, what if people can't make it to the stream? And then they can only watch it a couple days later. And then just have that right at the top.
Well, I'll figure out when we want to end the poll. But of course, yes. So this poll will determine whether or not we're going to switch to a video format for the video games and the movies. That basically means we're going to play trailers with transitions in between, and it's all in one video. You get to hear our reactions. You get to see what we're going to be doing. This is how it's going to work from now on. I could only hope that it will do well in the sense that we actually move to a different format forward, because I really want to test what we can do out. I want to know what is our limits, test the limits of our abilities. This is what we're going to do. I have the means to do it. Naka has the means to do it. Krüz, I want to say he has the means to do it, but of course he doesn't have a custom build PC like we do. So
he's on a Mac. He's the outlier.
Man, but this thing, you gotta give credit. Even though it is an Apple product, and people are like, "Oh, Apple products just fall apart after a few years." This thing only required one battery replacement, has survived quite well. I think we got it in like 2015.
I mean, no. Macs last a long ass time. They're very durable products. You get what you pay. You get what you pay for. You really do. But yeah. So is there anything else we want to do? Do we want to play Among Us? Do we want to watch a movie? Do we want to? I don't know.
I do want to try one of those two games, Among Us and Fall Guys. I do want to try that at some point.
Fall Guys, yes, $20. Unfortunately, not crossplay. It's only on. I'm not sure if it's on Mac, but it's definitely on PC, and it's only on
at least on Steam.
Yes, but Steam doesn't always mean it's going to be on Mac or Linux.
I know. Sometimes it says one or the other, but we'll look at it.
But unfortunately, I do have things that I need to do after the show. And ironically enough, after all the internet troubles during the pre-show and everything, and a little bit in the beginning to mid-section, it's been fine ever since. However, I'm still debating on whether to do the upload this recorded version. But I'll let this VOD process, and then I'll take a look at it tomorrow after class, and then make a decision from there.
Okay.
Good show.
It was a very good show. I really enjoyed this. This is a very nice
good show, lads.
We have new toys to play with. We still have to figure everything out. We still have to figure out how are we going to do the video slides from now on when we transition. Still have to figure that whole shebang out. I can only hope that we'll work it out. Hopefully it works. But we can only do so much. But we'll see how it works out. And then, but yeah, other than that, that is it. That is our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say thank you so much once again to Zeroslion and Garrus Kuin for making not only the icon or do we call it icon or do we call it like
It's an icon.
I guess or
Yeah.
the what do you call that? What do you call that symbol that,
It's
not
an
a
icon.
symbol. I know, but there's another name for it. It's not logo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Logo. Thank you, Zeroslime. Thank you so much for making the logo. Garis, thank you so much for making these video transitions and the designs. They're super well done. We're going to have so much fun in the next coming weeks. I can only hope things will go smoothly from here.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too, because we have quite a bit to talk about after the show is over. Anyway, guys, that has been our show for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, my name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I am Krüz.
And this has been Subwoofer Entertainment. Stay awesome, stay awesome, stay safe out there. Have a good night, guys.
Please stay safe, wear your mask if you go out. If you have college classes that are in person, be sure to social distance as much as possible, unless you're in a lab setting where you do need to bundle up, and always wear your mask when you're out in public. That is my public service announcement.
Do it!
Anyway, take care, everybody.